A forgetful woman wants to use a camera to prove she is doing things. Originally posted by Substantial Weird 504 in r. Am I the Asshole on January 3rd. 23. Updated January 18th. Original post. WIBTA for putting a camera in the kitchen without telling my husband? So some strange things have been happening. My husband is complaining about me forgetting things. Like loading the dishwasher and not switching it on. Or leaving the stove or oven on after cooking. Or not putting things back in the fridge. Things I'm 95% sure I remembered to do. I'll switch on the boiler, aka water heater for US readers, for a hot bath, and an hour later it will be off. My husband says he didn't touch it. Then this morning, I came to brush my teeth, and my toothbrush already had toothpaste on it. WTF? Did I come earlier? Did I not brush my teeth last night? That's just plain weird. Now I might be in denial, or have paranoia as an exciting extra, or I just read too much Reddit. But it occurs to me this could also be gaslighting in the old-fashioned sense. I have no reason to suspect my husband of doing anything like that. But like affairs, that's what everyone thinks, isn't it? So I would like to install a camera to reassure myself that it's really me doing these things. Obviously, I can't get permission from my husband without defeating the whole purpose. But I don't want to damage my relationship in the much more likely case that all this has nothing to do with him. WIBTA for temporarily invading his privacy to make myself feel better? Edit. It seems like step 1 needs to be checking for carbon monoxide. I'll postpone any other decisions until that's been checked. Thank you everyone for your comments and concern. For those concerned for imminent problems while I get that checked, thank you. But if it's a problem at all, it could only be in very low doses. This has been a mild problem for months rather than an acute problem in the last few days. I'm not showing any other symptoms. Husband isn't showing any signs at all. We do have a ceiling-mounted detector that hasn't sounded any alarm. And besides, my bedroom is upstairs. Update. The CO detector is showing 0 ppm. So not the problem. Along the way, I have also learned CO is not heavier than air. That's CO2, and the detector can be put pretty much anywhere away from airflow or steam sources. Memory loss of this type is not a typical symptom anyway. The symptoms to watch out for are headaches, dizziness, drowsiness and nausea. Taking everyone's advice, I've applied for an appointment with my GP. I will look into getting a vlogger-style body cam to video myself when I am alone. If it shows me forgetting, that will be helpful in diagnosing how I'm forgetting. If it doesn't, I can look into further steps. Quick edit to add. We're both mid-40s, so unlikely but not impossible to be dementia. My periods are extremely regular, so unlikely to be perimenopausal, but I'll check that with my GP. Thank you everyone for your care, concern, and advice. I am overwhelmed by how helpful everyone is being. For all of you who have shared your own stories of gaslighting, my heart goes out to you. I hope you are doing well now. Judgment. Not the asshole. Update 2 weeks later. A boring update. No carbon monoxide. No ghosts. No one else living in the house. I could only wish my house was big enough or soundproof enough for that to be possible. No gaslighting. And probably no serious illness either. The camera itself was a complete failure. Between how infrequently the issues happen, me trying to be discreet, and me just forgetting to use it. Yes, I'm aware of the irony. I have not yet managed to capture any of my forgetting instances. However, when I came to take my medication one day, I saw I hadn't taken it the day before. I remember silencing the alarm I have for taking it. I remember going in with the intention of taking it, but no memory after that. It was too much to think my husband was somehow getting hold of another pack of my prescription medication to set this up. So it had to be me forgetting. But the comments here made me realize why I was entertaining the thought at all. My husband was not reacting with what I considered the appropriate level of concern. In fact, he was actively downplaying everything. So, I sat down with him to discuss it. Apparently, from his point of view, nothing has changed in what I'm doing, just in how I'm reacting to it. He says I've always been absent-minded. He says it's a personality trait, not a symptom. But in the past I'd be, oh did I? Sorry, and now I don't remember that. There must be something wrong. He knows that I'm already being treated for depression, anxiety. So he thought the best thing to do was try to calm me down. He didn't realize it was having the opposite effect. He's willing to support me in anything I want to do. But it's clear he's convinced it's nothing to worry about. His certainty rocked my certainty. And my doctor agrees with him. The doctor is arranging for blood tests to make sure. But he says he expects the problems will largely clear up when I'm a little further into my course. Sertraline. For the curious. We'll see. But probably nothing to worry about. Thank you to everyone for your concern and suggestions. And the YTA did help me back off before taking a step that could have damaged my relationship forever. I am grateful for having a place I could talk this out when I had no one else I felt I could speak to. Your help has meant the world to me. Edit to clarify. The camera mentioned here is a small, portable camera I've been carrying with me and recording myself with. I did not film my husband at any point. Dang. That one guy who turned out to be writing notes to himself has permanently skewed Reddit's idea of both what common symptoms of CO poisoning are and what is likely to blame if you're forgetting things. Her. This has been going on for months. Him. Honey. This has been going on for years. In a somewhat related story, my dad had these kind of moments start happening very acutely one weekend and led to his death. He turned on the kitchen sink and then left without turning it off. Wasn't turning off lights after leaving rooms like normal. Couldn't remember how to use the remote. Just very out of it. His neighbor who's a nurse said his face looked very pale and told him to go to the hospital. He did, and it turned out he had a blood clot in his brain causing bleeding. It couldn't be fixed and he passed away a week later. Solution not taken. Oop could have started tattooing herself memento style to help her remember. So I also have depression and anxiety, both severe. I realized my memory was drastically failing me and only getting worse, and brought this up to my doctor as my great-grandma had some form of dementia. He said that it's all my anxiety fault. My anxiety is so severe that my brain was jumping from one topic to another every day all day. But not in an ADHD way. And since I've had anxiety for the last 18 years or so, it caused my brain to have a way harder time forming long-term memories. My brain would take the phrase out of sight out of mind literally in most cases. It did calm me down that it wasn't necessarily early onset dementia or something. This flavor of concluded is a little bland. But that's definitely better than where I thought this was going. Lifetime movies have messed me up. Honest to God, this is just what sertraline is like for some people. Higher anxiety and brain fog when first taking it. As soon as she said that she wasn't far into her course of it, it all made sense. I have to admit that I've been affected by BORU and fully expected to find her husband abusing her and driving her insane. Almost accusing her husband of gaslighting her because she forgot that she's forgetful as a hilariously layered onion. Her husband is so stable and understanding. I'm happy she has that. And I'm glad she really thought through the moments she considered it was her husband's doing. What a healthy couple. Hope the doc is checking thyroid levels too. When mine was crashing, I was starting to worry that I had early onset Alzheimer, which was a scary thought. After I got my thyroid back at average levels, I still took some nootropics to help my memory. Glad Op got some good advice. Happy ending. My girlfriend has this issue. She has ADHD, depression and anxiety paired with working through some issues from childhood. Her short-term memory is so bad it's concerning sometimes. You could tell her something important and she would ask you again about it 10 minutes later. She has to use alarms, post-its and verbal reminders to get things done. I'm on sertraline also, but I had no idea it could affect memory unless I'm reading it wrong. I have had similar memory problems before taking it, but I also smoked weed heavily and quit as soon as I got on sertraline. It was for my anxiety. Generic for Zoloft. Op is a woman in her 40s. Perimenopause is definitely something to consider. One of the most common symptoms is memory loss. Unfortunately, because a lot of people, including doctors, are not well informed about the symptoms of perimenopause, women will get the wrong diagnosis and therefore not get the help they need. I wonder if OOP is AR, COVID long haulers. The first year of my long haul it seemed like I had dementia even though I was in my 20s. It improved when my smell did like 11 months in. I don't get how this one eluded Op if you are starting a new medication or a new dosage and things aren't normal. It's for sure the medication. Sounds like how my ADHD presents TBH. I also started having memory issues when I was severely depressed. I would remember the broad strokes of my day, but not the details. For example, one evening my spouse and I watched a movie. The next day he mentioned something about the movie and I remembered watching the movie with him. But I couldn't remember a single thing about the plot, or even who played in it or what genre it was. In another example, I had a meeting with my supervisor and made notes of their answers to a few questions I had asked. The next day I went to read the notes and was so thankful I had them because I couldn't remember the actual meeting at all. This was one of the things that finally made me realize I needed to get treatment. When depression goes on for long enough, it can become pseudo-dementia. It's reversible apparently. But good luck getting help, cause they just say, once we get your depression under control, but like, if you've never gotten it under control for enough years for pseudo-dementia to develop? Yikes. Thanks for nothing, doc. I'd guess dyslexia, ADHD, thyroid problems. I bet she has ADHD. It often isn't diagnosed in women and even some professionals don't think of that option. Plus, depression and anxiety are common comorbidities with ADHD.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.